Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the UK. It's August. It's nearly August. It's August next week. It's raining. It's cold. It's been one of the worst summers I can remember. Probably quite a typical British summer. Rain and cold. We've had the heating on in June. Anyway, let's talk about the video. I had a meeting with a wealth management company in Mayfair about investing and about writing up plans for retirement. So I'm going to tell you what happened in that meeting in this video, so you don't have to do it yourself. You'll realize as well there's lots of financial advice on YouTube, and it's mainly given from people who aren't IFAs. That's probably because if they were an IFA, they would probably get the sack. I'm not an IFA. I work in finance. I've done all this research myself, because the problem with asking IFAs for advice is that they're trying to sell you a product that they get paid commission for. So it's difficult. Anyway, let's get out of the rain and go in the office and let's have a talk. So, excuse the office, still waiting for the electrician to do the first fix, lights, take my glasses off as well, that plasterboard. Anyway, investment advice. I've gone around the houses with this. I'm obviously concerned about it because I'm concerned about my pension or some sort of retirement in the UK. I think the retirement age is 68. I'm guessing it may or may not happen due to what everything costs now to sort of survive, especially if you want to live in a nice area in a nice house like we do, I guess. So I had a meeting with a wealth management company, a high-profile wealth management company in London, in Mayfair. I don't know why they invited me into the office, to be quite honest with you. I did have some money to invest, but anyway, I went down to see them. They spoke to me about drawing up a wealth management and investment plan, working it back from what you think you're going to need in retirement. Anyway, I rather stupidly didn't listen. Well, I did listen, but I didn't take action on what they told me to do. So I went and bought a house. So I bought a house. My other half stopped working. We had two children. I thought, well, I've put everything into the house. I can sell that. But now I'm thinking, no. Well, the last few years I thought, no, I want to stay in my house. I want to build up money for retirement. So anyway, the first thing they said to me is you have to exhaust all of your tax-free allowances. That's because, say for instance, you've got I have a pension that my limited company contributes towards, and it's tax-free to put the money in. So that means every £1,000 I put in, I don't pay £200 in tax. They don't give me the £200, I just don't have to pay it. So I'm kind of 20% up, and then I should get a 6 to 8% return on the money, because it's invested in a very basic Vanguard, FTSE 100, 250, or the US 500. So that's a managed fund. So they look after the money and they make sure it's invested correctly. They charge you for that, but I'm not investing in individual shares. I don't have the time to do that, and I don't need to do that because of the tax that I'm saving putting the money in. It really, I mean, I watched another video by a guy on YouTube. I'll put a link to his video in the comments. He's an ex-trader. He said, if you're trying to trade and you're trying to beat people like him, who was a professional, he's a very intelligent person. He's up at 5 o'clock every morning. He's watching, he's reading the news, he's studying the markets, ready for them to open. And he does it as a full-time job. You won't beat people like that, so it's pointless trying. You just need to concentrate on exhausting those tax-free options. And most people in the UK, so you can invest in an ISA up to £20,000 a year, tax-free. The vast majority of people will not be able to exceed that £20,000. Most people, I'm guessing, won't have an excess of £20,000 a year to invest or do something with. And my battery died, so we're back on again. Yeah, the tax situation with investments, the vast majority of people are never going to get to a point where they need to worry about exceeding that, so that you don't really have to concern yourself. The wealth manager's job, it's a bit of an oxymoron calling a wealth manager. They're not there to make you wealthy. You won't generally get wealthy by investing money unless you've got a few million to invest, and then you need the money to invest in the first place. So if you want to get wealthy, you need to concentrate on income and building wealth, and then the wealth manager is there to help you protect and invest and safeguard that money whilst getting you a return as well. That's the sort of wealth manager's job. People think that the wealth manager is there to make you wealthy, or that the wealth manager should be a wealthy person. The slight issue is that the majority of people are working for firms or they're restricted by the FCA, so they'll generally always advise people on paying down loans first, which is good in one way, but in other ways you're missing out on all the compounding interest. But now we've obviously got a situation in the UK where some mortgage rates are 5 or 6%, and let's say, for instance, you're getting yourself an 8% return on your money, then it's quite, and also that money's at risk. Then there's quite a fine line between paying down your mortgage and investing in the stock market now. I mean, obviously you would like to be doing both. My own strategy is to do both, is to pay some down on the mortgage and to invest some. And that's the way that I want to do it, because I'm sort of hedging my bets a bit. But some people may just want to pay down their mortgage because it's the safest option. But again, you're missing out on all the sort of compounding interest. So the whole point of the video is just to say that most people are worrying about things that they don't need to worry about. You really I don't understand how people with no money or very little money to invest are worrying about individual funds and cryptocurrencies and forex trade. And my focus is on building income and putting that spare money into investments that will sort of steadily grow. Yes, they are at risk, but I'm sort of mitigating that risk by sticking to the sort of safer options rather than the high risk investments. But then again, I know people in the last few years who've invested money in high risk and emerging markets who've done very well, and people that have invested in the standard sort of FTSE and the FTSE 100, the 200 and the US 500 have not done very well. But that's usually sort of a short-term thing, and then these investments are generally sort of long-term. So that's what my advice would be to you, is to stop worrying and just stick to the tax efficient ways, because you're up anyway. Then you can concentrate on other ways of sort of building your wealth, such as generating more money on your income side with a business, or investing in property, which again over the long term is generally quite good. At the minute things are very up and down with what you can achieve in terms of rent against a mortgage, and the government very kindly decided to tax landlords on their income. So if you're a landlord with properties in your own name, then possibly your investments aren't doing that well because you're paying tax on your turnover, which is the craziest thing that I've ever heard. But anyway, that's what they do. So lots of people now will purchase properties in sort of limited companies. I'll cover that in another video, but it's you're paying tax on your profits rather than your turnover. So I hope the video has been useful to you, because it took me a while to sort of work this out and to talk to wealth planners and meet people and talk to other people, and now I don't really worry about it so much. I just let it sit in the background and I concentrate on other things. You've only got enough space up here to think about so much. So any questions, please pop them in the comments, and I will see you on the next one.